Namaste. Happy summer solstice. Today is summer solstice, and something you might not have known about me is I love to hula hoop. It is so fun. It is one of those childhood things that I actually never did as a child, and I didn't think I could do it as an adult, and it makes me feel so happy. Today, join me in the summer solstice practice where we're going to use the sun. Today is the longest day of sunlight and the first official day of summer, and it's just a beautiful day to just absorb light from the earth. Join me in this beautiful practice today, friends. So whether you have a hula hoop or don't have a hula hoop, I'm going to use the little hula hooping today. So if you have never hula hooped and you're maybe watching me thinking, that looks so fun. It is so fun, and whether or not you think you can hula hoop or you think you can't. So it is June 21st of you have to be careful, little people, because I can totally jack especially jack. So it's June 21st, 2018 today. So I just started hula hooping 6 months ago. It's been 6 months, and I learned to hoop waist. I used to be a hairstylist, and one of my clients told me that hula hooping helped heal her from a really bad divorce. And I thought, that is crazy, I want to do that. So I slowly have been learning how to hula hoop, and it's amazing. So let's just taking a moment to ground. I'm going to put my hula hoop down for now. We're going to come back to hooping in a little bit. Taking a moment to ground. The sun is shining this way, so I'm going to face the sun. It would be awesome if you could practice outside and do this. If you could take your phone with you in your backyard, but if you're inside, just try to practice by window would be awesome. And really taking this moment to tune into your feet. Tune into your feet. In yoga, 2 feet, there's 2 points in the front of the pad and 2 in the heel. So really press those into the earth or into the mat, wherever you're standing. And if you don't have a mat, that's okay. You can also just do this practice on a hard floor, soft floor. If you're on a hard floor, I would definitely recommend though getting a blanket or a towel for support under your knees. And really feel rooted into the earth, lifting up at all of the toes and pressing into the pinky, the ring, the middle, the pointer, and the big toe. And really lifting up through the arch and tuning into the body. I feel like until my yoga teacher training, I wasn't really aware of my body and where I was. So I want you to just take this moment to be in your body, be in your feet. Feel what it feels like in your feet. Feel what it feels like in your ankles, in your knees. Feel what it feels like in your thighs, in your hips. Feel what it feels like in your spine and your shoulders. We often have a tendency to be hunched over. It's like the generation. I look at this generation of kids growing up now, and so many kids are hunched over, and it's from computers or phone, and kids are just constantly texting. If you can just take a moment and imagine that the dough. Come here. Come here. You can sit on my mat if you want and snuggle my legs. Or you can go climb. Go climb. So really tune into your shoulders and just what your natural position is, not judging yourself, just be like, oh yeah, I do kind of hunch back. Or maybe I'm slumped to the left, slumped to the right. So really taking this moment to roll the shoulders back. And just as you rolling your shoulders back, really try to settle and lift your heart. Raise it up to the sun. I like to envision my heart as the sun. In yoga, we have our spiritual heart, which is our anahata. That is this huge space, this cavity, which is 360 around this whole area. So with the summer solstice in the sun, imagine just taking a picture, maybe clicking that sun and bringing it in, and I can just feel the warmth, and it's so healing. Haven't you ever noticed on days you're feeling down in the dumps, and you go outside the sun, and it's like, thank you. It's just so healing. Taking one hand and pressing it on the heart and the other on the tummy, and tuning into your breath here. Just observing your breath. Maybe you're judging your breath, it's racing faster or slower. Maybe you don't notice much. Really taking a moment to take a breath from the heart. So expand from the heart space. Feeling your hand rise and sink. So really exaggerating and pressing out. You're going to feel your hand rise and sink. Rising and sinking. Taking with your opposite hand and bringing the awareness down to your belly button, your belly. And expanding from the tummy. And really feeling that tummy grow and pushing out past the hand on the heart. And really bringing the awareness into the breath. Taking it deep, low, and deep into the belly. Beautiful work here. As we allow ourselves to breathe, we become present. And we can really tune into this moment. And in this moment, I invite you to set an intention for your practice, an intention of why you're here. My intention is to soak up the energy from the summer solstice, and just blossom and start fresh. Always starting fresh. Just taking a moment with those hands at the side. And today is a perfect day to practice some sun salutations or some Surya Namaste, which is the Sanskrit name for sun salutation. So gently bringing the hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, palms kissing palm, raising up at that heart center, really, like I said, tuning into the body, rolling the shoulders back, guiding the hands straight into the sun, exhaling the arms down to the feet, pitching forward at the hips, allowing the hands to drop forward from the Tasana, forward fold. Allowing the arms to ragdoll. As you're really rooted into the feet, into the knees, collapsing in and falling out. Really finding strength here. Maybe swaying side to side or walking from one side to the other. You can also collapse shoulders or elbows. These are your elbows, your shoulders are up here. Shoulders down here. Or you can give yourself a nice little hug. If you have straighter legs, keeping a straighter spine, or I have tighter hamstrings, which are getting looser, I'm loosening them and I'm straightening them, but I need a more generous bend in my knees. So you could take a generous bend to your knees and a generous bend to that. Giving yourself a little hug, a little love when we absorb this amazing energy from the summer solstice. Beautiful work here. Creating a starfish hand on the outside, framing the outside of the hands, the outside of the feet. And if you have a wider shoulder blade, you can actually bring the ring finger to the edge of the mat and allow the pinky to fall off. Or if you have narrower shoulder blades, you can come in more towards your feet. It's stepping one foot back and the other foot back, coming in for a plank pose. So really rooting and pushing up through the shoulder blades like a black cat on Halloween, rolling the biceps out with a soft bend to the elbows, and really powering up, creating a plank here. Imagine there's a board on your back, really toning through the core, through the glutes, and really posting up. And taking a moment here just to rock back and forth. Just be here. In this plank pose, gently coming down to the knees, kind of in a semi-tabletop, and opening up the knees, touching the toes together, sinking back for Uttanasana for the devotional pose. Elongating the arms, the elbows, the wrists, and the fingers straight above you, keeping an active hand resting the forehead onto the earth. Resting the forehead onto the earth here and taking 2 deep breaths into the heart. And then envisioning the heart as a cell. I'm just raising my head up so I can talk to you and you can hear my voice. So keeping your head down on the earth. Maybe rolling side to side. Joy is chewing on a cup. That is my puppy Joy, and Jack is over there, my son, on the monkey bars. And breathing a breath of love and gratitude for all of this amazing energy into the heart. And exhaling with an audible or an ah sound. Inhaling. Exhaling. Slowly rising up. And we're going to add a little something. That's Mr. Jeff. We're going to add a little something to the sun salutation just to spice it up. We're going to add a little Simhasana, which is the lion's breath. And this is a heating, warming breath, and it really helps just get out some clustered, flustered up stuff, some stress, angst. It's an amazing breath. So this is Simhasana, the lion's breath. And I'm going to turn towards you so you can see. So you can post up on your hind feet if you would like. And releasing and opening up the knees. You can come more in a tabletop position. And really tightening up. We have 3 bandhas, which are these locks in our body. You have one in your genital, and one in your tummy, and one in your chin. So really tuning into the one in your tummy, which is kind of right here as you bend. So really squeezing in through that bandha and tuning into the hands. You can face the hands forward, hands facing the sides, or something a little bit deeper, you can have the hands facing inwards towards you. So doing what feels good for you. Really, I like to open up at the knees and tighten up at that tummy bandha. And Simhasana is going to be a breathing in deeply. So I'm going to breathe in, roll in at the spine. And when you come up, you're going to roll your eyes up to your third eye, your intuitive center, or up to the sky or the ceiling, wherever you're practicing. Drop your tongue over your teeth, over your tongue, and let out an animalistic roar. And this is one of those things where you have to let go. You have to let go of judgment, and you have to not care what other people think, because it can really hold you back. Just like anything in life, when you hold back and you get stuck in thoughts, it's not going to allow you to do it. So just let it go and be goofy and be silly. Tuning into the hands, rolling back. Let it go. And just be. And feel what that felt like. And maybe you were holding it in. Let's do it again. We're going to do this 5 times. 4 more times. Rolling in. Sitting back and... Beautiful work. Another time. Feels so good. 2 more, friends. You got this. Let it go. And you can move the hands too. Joy, do you want to be a little lion? He's not a lion. He's like a little kitten. One more. You can do it. Let it go and let it roar. Beautiful work, friends. Coming back. So we're going to come in for a chaturanga variation from, excuse me, Joy Rowney. So tuning in to the hands and kind of elongating the hands, probably about a hand print and a half ahead of you. Starfish, wide open hand, grounding through the thumb and the pointer, and then pressing down through the pinky, and squeezing in at the shoulder, at the elbows. I keep calling my elbows my shoulders today, because that's what's happening. And envisioning that there is a small marble or a ball here, and your job is to push it with your nose. You come in for this chaturanga variation. You can pop up to Bhujangasana or Urdhva Mukha Savasana, which is going to be a cobra or an up dog. So taking your hands, tuning in, squeezing into that tummy bandha if you can, and squeezing through the genital bandha, which is one in between your genitals and your rectum. Trying to squeeze that area in, and diving down to the nose, squeezing in at the elbows, kind of expanding through the shoulder blades, popping nose to chest up for cobra. You can do cobra, Bhujangasana, which is going to be a gentler version, or Urdhva Mukha Savasana, which is up dog, is going to be releasing the tops of the feet down on the earth, and this is going to be more of an advanced pose. Tuning the hands under the shoulder blades, hugging the elbows into the ribs, and then really popping and extending, fully extending up. So up dog is going to be more of a full extension, where Bhujangasana is going to be more of a bend and coming up. I love Bhujangasana with these Wahiri children. We'll do Bhujangasana and do snake hisses. So let's do some snake hisses. So then I have a doggy on my booty in between the legs. No good. These guys are doing some garden work of hips, supposedly. Apparently, today my words are of craziness because of the summer solstice. So tuning the hands now into the earth and coming in to setting up for Adho Mukha Savasana, down dog. So remembering what I said about your shoulders. So where are your shoulders? If you need a wider stance, tune in, ground through the pointer and the thumb, and then root through the pinky. Remember, you want to root into the earth on whatever you're touching. Driving the sit bones up to the sun, rotating out of the biceps, the bigger part of the arm, rolling out, pushing up through the shoulders. You want to open up at the shoulders, removing any wrinkles if your head's too far up, or if you're tucking too far under. Or sometimes people have really big hyperextension and you'll find a really round back. So really trying to bring that back and create this beautiful inverted V here. And taking a moment to just walk out your dog. Really walking out that dog here. Twisting at one side, twisting at the other. Inhale, rising up the left leg, tucking it into the chin. Exhale, rising, tucking. Inhale, rising and dropping, opening up that leg and opening up that chest, imagining that heart as the sun. Inhaling and tucking and bringing that foot in between the hands. And if you need a little helping hand, I know some of my students, if you have had injuries, or some people, they get stuck here, so I have some students who, in their 60s, and I've even had students in their 70s where you have to slowly walk. Slowly walk. And I like to take it, and you can slowly bring that in. You can rest the hind knee down on the earth. You can track that foot back. Inhale, raising the arms up to the sun. Coming in for Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Giving a soft, beautiful back bend, opening up the heart here. Taking a soft twist to the right side. Oh, yeah, that's it. And you're done. Raising the arms up to the sun. Exhale, twisting to the opposite side here. Inhale, raising up, and we're going to do it again. We're going to do Simhasana, the lion's breath, because I really feel like today's a really good chance to let go of what no longer serves you. And every time we do a really deep, fiery exhale, we can just let it blast in the sun, let the sun take it away. Inhale, so remember that breath, breathing in, opening the tongue, rolling the eyes up. Cactusing at the arms, rising. We're going to kind of bring that leg back and coming forward. And if you would like to, you can power up on that hind foot, squeeze up through the thighs, really hugging the thighs together, creating a set of skis versus a tightrope, powering up through the core, elongating here. Envisioning there is a light is pulling us up to the sun here, raising the arms up to the sun. Ready? Straightening out that leg, cactusing the arms, squeezing the shoulder blades, opening up the chest. Two more. Beautiful work, friends. Hinging forward, diving the hands down, coming back for a plank pose, and slowly walking, or you can hop. Hop. If you are a big time hopper, just be cautious with where you are, because I've totally jacked up myself trying to be like a fancy hopper. And coming into a forward fold, Utstrasana. Exhaling, diving the hands to a T. Inhale, rising up to the side. Hands to heart center. This time we're going to halfway speed it up a little bit now that we kind of know our steps, but we're just going to work that opposite leg for Anjaneyasana. So it's going to be the right leg now. Inhale, diving the arms up to the sun, absorbing all the positive rays of energy. Exhaling, arms to a T. Swan diving forward for Uttasana, forward fold. Swaying side to side here. Beautiful work, friends. Maybe really, I like to sometimes just really sway my hips side to side. And then framing the hands around the sides of the feet. 1 foot back, 2 foot back, really grounding through that pointer. And the thumb rolling the shoulders, the biceps in, pressing up through the shoulder blades, creating a nice soft, a nice line on your back. A lot of people have a tendency to drop down here, kind of like you're an up dog. This is going to be more up dog. Plank is going to be a really steady foundation on the back. Like envision that someone's going to eat their dinner on your back and you don't want to spill any of their plates or their cups. You just want to keep it nice and wonderful for them. Exhaling, coming down to the knees, dropping the knees open if that feels good for you, or it might feel better to keep your knees together. Here, exhaling, hands forward for Bhaktasana, or you can take Balasana, child's pose here. Taking a pose that feels good for you. Breathing into the heart, gratitude, and all of this positive energy, really absorbing this positive energy here. Really tuning into that breath in the back of the heart. Breathing a breath deep through the side ribs. And exhaling. Slowly rising and extending those palms of the hands, about a finger, a whole hand print ahead. Really tucking in at the elbows here. Squeezing through, lifting up at that tummy bandha and rolling that marble. So popping up at the nose, the chin, the heart, and raising. So choosing your variation, whether it's Bhujangasana, your cobra, or if it's Urdhva Mukha Savasana, which is going to be up dog. So really tuning into what feels good for you and your body. I'm just breathing in the raising side. Using that strength, hugging the thighs in, hugging the glutes, elongating through the body, feeling the positive energy from the earth and all surrounding. Beautiful work, friends. Oh, it feels so good. It's so amazing out here. And tuning into the up dog, or the down dog, tuning into those hands into the earth, shooting the sit bones. So really pressing and grounding into the sit bones and driving the heels down to the earth, finding that happy edge. Whether or not you can fully extend and touch the earth or not, wherever you are is exactly where you need to be. So really opening up through the shoulder blades, rolling out here and walking out your dog. Taking the opposite foot, the right foot, lifting up, pointing that toe up to the sun. Inhale, tucking it into the chin. Exhale, rising and pointing. Inhale, tucking. Exhale, rising and pointing. Hey boys, can you quiet down please? Dropping the heel down to the sit bone, opening up the heart from the opposite side here, and taking a beautiful breath here. Inhaling a breath. Exhaling, and remember, like I said, however it takes for you to get up to the top of the mat. If you're back here and you need to take slow steps, or if you need to drop down to a knee and walk it forward, take your time, go at your own pace. This is your practice. That's why home practice is lovely. Whether or not it's home practice or you practice in the studio, know that yoga is not about judgment. And if you are ever in a studio where you feel judged, you need to find a new one, because the practice of yoga is not about judgment. It's about being open and accepting and loving yourself unconditionally. Inhaling here, so tuning in to dropping that hind foot.
Mama, look at this plant that I transplanted. I put him in here because it has really wet.
So tuning into that hind foot, really coarsening the core strength muscles together, hugging the thighs in, tuning into that hind foot to the foot, the ankle, the knee, the hips, tuning the hips facing the short edge of the mat, really elongating, creating that zipper all the way up. Imagining there's that light pulling, tugging up, keeping soft bend in the chin, tuning into the four corners of the foot in the front, soft bend to the knee, tuning into the knee is dropping in and falling out, really hugging that body together, bringing the hands to the heart center here for a beautiful breath. Rising up, exhaling, rising the arms up to the sun, exhaling Anjaneyasana, soft crescent lunge back there, opening up the heart here. Doing what feels good for you. Taking a soft bend to the left side. Smiling a smile inside that reflects outside. Exhale, neutral. Inhaling opposite your knot. Opposite side here. And tuning into this next pose, if you would like, you may stay down, or you can power up through that heel pointing that hind foot, really toning the thighs together, toning the core, elongating through the spine. Inhale, raising up, cactusing up the arms, taking a few more lion's breaths here. Inhale, rising up, you can straighten out that leg. Ooh, and it's a really challenge, so you can move your skis apart or you can just stay down. Just do whatever feels good for you. Inhale, rising. Exhaling, rising. Let it go, animal. Diving the hands down to the foot, stepping the foot facing forward for Uttasana. Forward fold here, swaying side to side. Exhaling the arms to a T. Bringing the hands up like this side. Palm facing palm to Anjali Mudra. And just taking a moment here to feel what it feels like as you're rooted into Tadasana, in the mountain, in your feet, and just feel what it feels like inside of your body. So I was sharing with you how I love hooping, but I didn't know how to hoop until 6 months ago. I just learned. It was one of those childhood things that I always wanted to learn how to do, and I never thought I could do it until and it was always one of those childhood things. I always wanted to hula hoop, but I never did, and I never thought I could until I changed my perception, and then I could, because the way that we think transmutes into what we do and the actions that we take. So whether or not you know how to hula hoop on your waist or not, together we're going to learn through our imagination. So rooting in through Tadasana, the mountain, the four corners of the feet, pushing up through the arches and the knees, bringing the hands to the hips, and then closing the eyes, if you will, or finding a soft gaze or a drishti, and just rotating at the hips. And just really feeling what it feels like inside of your hips. With hula hooping, just like anything in life, where your attention goes, energy flows. So bringing your energy and attention into your waist. And just slowly making those circles. And another fun trick that I like to do is imagining that we have a box, and inside the box we create an X and then a plus. Go over here. Milo's going to show us. And so we're going to touch each of those points with our hips. So bringing the point of the hips to the front of the box, to the side, to the corner, to the side, back side, to the booty, to this side, side, corner, front, corner, side, back, middle. Milo's going to show us. So this is just kind of like an extended, more of a robotic hoop, 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 hoop. But really just using your awareness and bringing your attention into your waist for a little waist hoop. And woo, look at this guy. Milo is 6. He's a hoop master. Bringing the feet, spreading them wide out on the mat, 3 to 4 feet apart. Really grounding and rooting into the feet to the four corners. Turning the toes facing the corners of the mat, the big toe facing the corner of the mat. Will you scoot over a little bit here so I can show these people how to do this? And really envisioning that there is a wall behind you in that tummy bandha, tucking that in and turning that pelvis like a bowl a little bit forward, drawing that navel in the belly button, and rolling the shoulder back, and sinking down here. And as we sink down here, tuning into the knees, if the knees are going to want to fall in or out, then just bringing the hands on the waist and doing that motion, that circle, and closing your eyes and envisioning a circle. A circle.
Now, that's how you hoop.
Thanks, Mike. A circle, a hula hoop, to me is just the most pure shape and form. It is like infinity, it never ends. So really envisioning that circle, closing your eyes, and maybe as a child you hooped. Maybe you didn't, maybe you watched kids hula hoop. You're just closing your eyes, and like the sun is a circle, envisioning that joy and that peace and that fun within your body. And so really tuning into that waist. Now I'm going to bring my hula hoop in here, and you can envision what that would be like. I'm just going to make it a little bit harder, but you can just drop that imaginary hoop, moving that hips, and slowly bringing into something that's a little more fun. I have a friend who teaches booty yoga, and really tuning into the booty, and tuning the booty and the pelvis forward, and then rocking it backwards, forward and backwards, forward and backwards, and really rocking the pelvis, hands, pelvis forward, that bowl tips forward, bowl tips back, forward, back, pulse 2 times in the front, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And just really taking this moment to find a little movement that is freeing and feels good for you. If you haven't observed me, I love to dance. It's like one of my favorite things besides yoga and life and children. And I just love dancing. So just hula hooping just brings me back to that fun state here. So as you're up here, if you have a hoop and you are a hooper, you may totally join in. If you don't, that's okay. And if you're interested in buying a hoop, there's all sorts of hoop in like children's toy stores and hoops that are on Amazon. And for me, I learned on a hoop that's tall and big up to my belly button. And really just tuning in to the body here. And just tuning in to what feels good within your booty. And moving that booty around. And rising up and just taking a little moment here. Maybe heel toeing. Heel toeing. Arms up to the sun because it's summer solstice. Bringing those arms in a big circle. Maybe give yourself a soft back bend here. Bending at the back. Raising at the heart. Envisioning that fun, fluid circle. Exhaling. Heel toeing feet back out. Heel toeing feet back out, and then this beautiful goddess squat, maybe pulsing. Coming back to this goddess. And pulsing. And envisioning that hula hoop on the waist. And then turning that hind foot in and coming in for a hooping lunge. So moving that waist if you can and lunging down. Forward, hooping, lunge. Doing that on each side 2 times. So I'm going to throw this in. This took me quite a while to get, but it's really fun. Hooping, lunge. So if you don't have a hoop, just go down as far as you can. And coming up to center, feet out. Center. Beautiful work, friends. It's so fun, I love it. Bringing that focus inside, putting that breath to the heart. Beautiful work, friends. Woo! Releasing from our beautiful circle as the sun for summer solstice. And slowly heel toeing in slightly and just rocking down. So coming to this goddess, we're going to come in for more of like a froggy yogi squat. So you could do yogi's choice, your choice. If you're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do a squat. It's okay, just do what feels good to you. If you can just stay here, that's okay. If you need to come down on your hands, forward froggy, you can come up on balls and feet, and then your feet. Or you can release the arms back behind you. Like so. Just hold your body here. Or if you can, really power up through the core, engaging and rooting through those 4 corners of the feet, bringing forward and really rooting in here. Just coming into this squat and just feeling the hips open. Feel really grounded and rooted into the earth. This is one of my favorite, really rooting and grounding. It's not only grounding for your feet, it's grounding for your root chakra, which is your chakra that connects you to the earth. And it allows you to trust. Together, taking 5 breaths. So wherever you are, just be here and be still. Inhaling deeply into the upper chest. And exhaling. It's pretty hot here. I'm going to do a sit to lead, which is the taco breath that's cooling. I'm going to roll my tongue and breathe in and exhale. Or you can put your tongue and roll it behind your teeth to cool. It's getting really hot. It's summer solstice. Beautiful work, friends. 2 more breaths, breathing in peace and energy from the solstice. Beautiful work. Slowly exhaling the arms back. Then I'm just going to work, kind of sit on my booty, bringing those feet, switching them to the opposite side, and slowly actually sitting that booty back and coming for Paschimottanasana, which is a seated forward fold. With this pose, if you have more flexibility, you can keep straighter legs, but still soft bend to the knee. And you want to keep a more straighter spine. And you can just fold in half, like a folding chair, a summer folding chair. Or you can bend, have a generous. Elongating the arms and rounding at the spine. And allowing yourself to just rest here. If you can tuck your head into your knees. Or if you have a pillow and your mobility does not permit, you can actually hug the pillow and you can just stay it here. Or you might see some people who have more flexibility. You might be one of these and you can just really crank forward. We don't want to be cranking as much as just easing into this pose. And really taking a breath into the back of the heart. And exhaling. I'm going to tune into that sit-to-knee breath. So rolling the tongue. Or rolling the tongue behind the teeth. Just, that brings in a more cooling, it's a cooling and calming effect. On a hot summer day. Beautiful work. Exhaling one leg out for a half one. Inhaling, rising, coming in. You can even take like a soft little twist here and open up. If you want, you can kind of bring the hand to the side or bring a soft spine to the side, rolling the shoulder away from the ear, absorbing the positive power from the sun. And the same thing goes here for the bend in the knee, bend in the back, or straighter knee, straighter in the back. Exhaling, opposite leg, really rooting and grounding down to the top of the foot on the earth. Inhale to rise and fold. And you can take a soft little twist here to the opposite side. You can bind on the side, rolling the shoulder away. Or you can keep the opposite arm over here. Inhale, rising up. Coming in for the butterfly here. Really kissing the palms of the feet into each other, opening up the hips. Exhale, rolling the shoulders back. Inhale, raising up your butterfly wings. Exhale, pushing them into the earth. Taking a deep breath here. Inhale, rising up your butterfly wings. Exhale, sinking them. Inhale, rising up your wings. Exhale, sinking. Inhale, rising up. Bringing feet together. And scooting up on the sit bones. I have some earth, some Mother Earth on my pants giving me a stretch. Bringing those sit bones forward and slowly and consciously releasing the spine, each vertebrae at a time, like a string of ball beads. And this is a really big challenge for me. My body likes to flop down. So doing what feels good for you here. Inhale, rising the arms up over the head. Exhaling, stretching the toes here. Inhaling and moving the arms and the legs to one side of the mat, coming in for a banana. So making that beautiful shape of a banana, compressing at the intercostal ribs, though that little spider web of muscles in between the rib cage on one side and expanding on the other. Taking a beautiful breath into that side body. Exhaling, coming to neutral, center. Exhaling to the opposite side, arms and legs on the opposite side, like a hammock, like a beautiful swinging hammock. I actually got a swing in a hammock when we were at the Great Sand Dunes, a camping hammock, and it was absolutely wonderful. I loved it. Inhaling the arms straight overhead. In this next breath, I want you to tighten up the fists, tighten up the eyes, tighten the nose, clench the toes, clench the booties, clench and purse the mouth, make everything stressed and strained and squeeze everything tight like the stresses of the world, and then make yourself let it go. Let it go. Stress and squeeze and strain everything together and let it go. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. When I do that, inside of my eyes, it turns red when I squeeze. And then it goes yellow and gold when I relax. That is crazy. Squeezing, stressing, and straining everything together, pulling the booty, pulling the navel, and pursing the lips, squeezing the eyes, and then making yourself let go. One more time, squeezing everything, feeling the tensions and the stresses of the world, and then letting it go. Coming in for our final pose of surrender, of relaxation, Savasana. Savasana is this pose that is actually one of the hardest poses in yoga. And this is said to be, as well as Sukhasana, the seated position, because this is where we are forced to be with our thoughts, and we have to try to be with what is. So I really encourage you in this pose to really bring the awareness to the breath. You can leave the hands palms up, or if you feel like you need a more root into the earth, you could put hands on the belly, hands on the heart, one on the heart and one on the belly. That will really help ground you down. And when we think, we actually stop and cut off our breath. But when we allow ourselves to breathe, we break past that and we allow ourselves to become present. So really bringing the awareness into the belly. And filling it up. Imagining your torso is like a glass of water. This is a 3-part breath. So filling up your glass of water from the tummy, expanding through the ribs and bringing up your water to the top of your chest, and then pouring out your glass of water. So filling up your cup, tummy, ribs, chest, and exhaling. Really filling up your air. If this is bringing any mental turmoil, just return to a breath that really works for you. And allow yourself to absorb the healing rays, happy rays of the summer solstice. And just do a full body scan and allow yourself to let go of your heels and your calves, let go of your knees, sink at the thighs, let the glutes and the sit bones deepen. Allow the belly button to sink into the spine, each vertebrae deepening on the mat, melting the shoulder blades, the biceps, the triceps, all of the phalanges, the fingers, scanning up to the neck, letting the cheeks go and the tongue soften, letting the eyelids get heavy, tuning into that third eye, that space between the eyebrows and the forehead, that intuitive center. Letting go of the scalp and just letting that body be with where you are. Taking the next few minutes to lay in this pose of surrender and truly allow yourself to let go. And I will call you out when it is time. Really allowing yourself to surrender to what is. Surrender to any thoughts or feelings or emotions. And tune into your breath. Feel the beat of your heart if you can't get out of your mind. And just really expand at the breath. And know when you breathe, you allow yourself to detach from those really deep, crazy thoughts that don't flood you. And slowly rolling to one side, or if you have a back injury or hip injury, if this doesn't work for you, just getting up, however works for you. I have a friend and she can't roll to her side, so I know that we need to offer other options. But for me, I can just bend the knees, pivot at my hips, move my shoulder, and rest an arm on the head. And allow yourself to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. Maybe it made you sleepy, or it really allowed you to clear your mind and find relaxation, and you really could hold on to what it meant to surrender. Or maybe that didn't happen for you this time, and that's okay. Everything comes to us on its own for perfect timing when we're ready. And slowly pushing yourself up on the hand and scooching to seated, coming into your Sukhasana. I'd recommend just keeping one foot on the earth and then allowing the other one just to be in front of that one. Whatever that looks like, yours might be a little bit different from mine. Just rolling the shoulders, elongating the spine, and finishing with 5 rolling ohms. A rolling ohm is an ohm at your own pace. So if you've practiced with me before, you might know or you might not know that ohm is the primordial sound of the universe. It's what connected and began all earth, air, and ether, and I just feel like it's a beautiful way to increase our frequencies, and I really feel the feelings of being blissed out. That's why I named this Yoga Bliss, because breath and movement and yoga and just really help me increase my frequencies, and I feel blissed out. So in case you didn't know, that's why I named this Yoga Bliss. So you can bring the hands into just an opening position. You can root them down. You can do the Gayana Mudra, which is the thumb and the pointer finger. And some people like to keep the finger together. I like to spread and create more energy. For me, it works better. I can create more Shakti energy, which is just energy within you. And this is for the receiving mudra. You can also ground into your leg with that one. And the giving one is the ring finger and thumb, and keeping more of like a peace sign. And some people, again, like to keep their fingers closed. For me, I like to create more space here. Breathing into the heart, and a rolling ohm is just ohm at your own pace. Don't follow me. Do it your own pace. Just roll with your ohms, and it makes this beautiful vibration, and it's just truly amazing, and will just increase your frequency. Inhaling in.
Mama.
Thank you so much for that practice. I love you all so much. I'm truly grateful for you all, beautiful friends. Namaste. Namaste, friends.